Hi sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash the subscribe button, turn on the notification so you get notified each time I upload, and please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you all, and I want to say a very big thank you to every one of you for always coming back to watch my videos and subscribing. You all are the very best. So today we'll be talking about Ameŕiçàñś's message. Where she talked about black people, and people are actually reacting to it and telling people not to trust her because, you know, she is the Republican spokesperson and she knows a whole lot. And for her to come out, like, you know, at this critical time to talk about, like, you know, side black Americans, that there is something really fishy about it and people are not having it. And you know what? Stay glued to the screen. Let me roll it so you all can see. And let me know what you all think in the comment section. So let's get into it.
The reason people are concerned about the words they use, the reason Americans care about civil rights, the reason we are sensitive to racism is for one issue and one issue only, and that is how black Americans were treated in this country. It is because of the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow. Those do not compare. Irish, you know, the new groups, they always get a little bad treatment. Do not compare that to how blacks are treated in this country. You don't get to piggyback on the black experience in America. You do not get to do that just because you are a woman, an immigrant, gay, Hispanic. No, the rest of you can go F yourselves. No, this is for black Americans. We seem to have forgotten them. It's not a rainbow coalition.
Various groups, feminist, gay rights groups, and those who are defending immigrants have commandeered the black civil rights experience.
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
There is the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow laws. We don't owe the homeless. We don't owe feminists. We don't owe women who are desirous of having abortion. That's what civil rights has become for much of the left. Wait, can I just say, what have we done to the immigrants? We owe black people something. We have a legacy of slavery. Immigrants haven't even been in this country. The black experience is different from any other experience in America. There is slavery, there is Jim Crow, so I really do resent it when people come along and say, well, you can't say the phrase illegal alien when you use the N-word. You can't say retard when you say the N-word. You can't say, I don't know, a million other things. They're always comparing it to the N-word. So the main point I want to make is no other word is like the N-word.
Ann Coulter for the win, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody saw that coming.
CNN.
Let's
People are going
go.
to say, Ann Coulter. This is one of the first times I've ever agreed with Ann Coulter, and it's on CNN. Mark this down in your calendar. But Ann, you've always felt this way. This isn't new for you, right?
It's not only not new for me, this is standard Republican position. I mean, Justice Rehnquist.
And we're back.
Okay, hang on.
Now,
You all saw that, right? This is what that it's causing. Like, you know, a lot of people are dragging her up and down. Some, like, she said the right thing, right? But because it is coming from her, people are kind of scared because, like, you know, where she is coming from, like the political party she belongs to, and being a spokesperson for them. So I feel like probably they are like trying to solicit for something that we do not know, or like black Americans do not know yet. But then, you know what, let's get into the stitches and see what people are saying about, because a lot of people actually came out like to talk about it. So let's get into it. Here we go.
It's for one issue and one issue only, and that is how black Americans were treated in this country.
I really, really need you to listen to this. Stop what you're doing and really try to understand what's happening here with me. The first thing you need to know is that Ann Coulter is smart. And the second thing is she's been playing this game a long time. Ann Coulter is the OG conservative white woman. Before Assault Rifle Girl went to Oklahoma City or wherever that was, before Tony Lahren got anywhere, it was Ann Coulter. And she's here for the long haul. So you start to get curious, what on earth is she really about? And she tells you in this video. Even in the part I stitched, she said this is one issue and one issue only. This is not a rainbow coalition. She goes on to say, we don't owe the feminists anything. We don't owe homeless people anything. We don't owe people that want abortions anything. This is about how black Americans are treated. Okay, the second thing you have to know is why we have a rainbow coalition in the first place. Part of it is like, yes, all feel good. We should all go everywhere together. The other part is that a bunch of really smart people sat down and realized black people don't have the numbers. We by ourselves do not have the numbers. And every time we tried to go kick it by ourselves like Tulsa and Rosewood, they burn it down. We needed allies, united in a common thread of decency, or else we would get nowhere. So when she says this isn't a rainbow coalition, first of all, she's spitting on Dr. King and the civil rights people who made that strategic decision for justice. The other thing you have to know is that Republicans in elections are making inroads with black and brown people. A, they cannot win any other way. This is a rapidly diversifying country, and they know that. So they're using things like homophobia, like feminism, like, oh, don't you know those lazy poor people in your community, to divide us up. And they are fully aided by a bunch of black conservatives in the blogosphere who go after Megan Thee Stallion and trash women whenever they can. You know the type. And they're doing it because the Rainbow Coalition is getting us closer to justice. And we are getting more and more serious about all of us need to unite together against capitalism. And y'all have to understand that so many white people made the conditions of this possible. You all have tried to colonize oppression and compare every little differing experience you have to the black experience in America. So when Ann Coulter says this, it's like, yeah, they are in our business. So y'all need to stop yesterday. The ammunition you're giving them will keep them in power for literally ever.
Oops, they always get a little bad treatment. Do not compare that to how blacks are treated in this country.
Coulter's grifting from both sides.
For black Americans, we seem to have forgotten them. It's not a rainbow coalition.
Every day that one Boondock scene gets proven more and more true. If you go watch that video, Ann Coulter is articulating actual Afro-pest sentiments. She's unironically saying a conclusion from one of Wilderson's books. And then she has the caucasity to say this is not a rainbow coalition. Girl, are you referencing Fred Hampton right now?
An issue and one issue only, and that is how black Americans were treated in this country. It is.
First of all, Ann Coulter's right. She's always been right about this topic. I don't understand how you can keep making comparisons to our experiences. I get that you had a hard time and had troubles and shit, but you were not labeled as property. Your grandfather, your great-grandfather, was a person in a fucking whatever farmland they was farming at. They were over there doing their thing. We were over here being treated as property. And then, when we did get our rights, we started building shit, they burned it all down. Every time we built something, they burnt it all down. So no wonder why we don't have nothing. Also, the government stifles us constantly. The government don't stifle you. They let you come in the country. They give you money, give you benefits. And then when we apply for anything, it's always, we gotta prove this, gotta prove that we aren't doing anything illegal, even though you motherfuckers are the most legal motherfuckers here, because you're not supposed to be here.
People are concerned about the words they use. The reason Americans care about civil rights, the reason we are...
What up, though? It's yours truly. Now, if you go back and watch this video, that is Ann Coulter. And even though what she's saying is accurate, I can only say this. It's Ann Coulter. And just because she's saying something that is accurate does not redeem her from all the other fuck shit that she has said. Plus, think of the long game. Think of the strategy of turning certain groups against each other to create infighting. That's what comes to my mind whenever I see a devout bigot come sideways out of the neck and trying to take this type of stand all of a sudden. Let's not be hens and let that fox into the house. Toodles.
Only, and that is how black Americans were treated in this country. It is because...
I would love to believe that Ann Coulter has turned a new leaf. And you can go watch that video if you want to. But I don't think she has. Ann Coulter knows something about the GOP and the Republican Party that we don't know. And Ann Coulter is their mouthpiece. So I would hope that she would know. But keep this in mind when you're thinking about what Ann Coulter just said. Mayoral elections are coming up. What do Republicans want more than anything else? Votes. Don't be fooled by this woman. Not in the slightest.
The reason people are concerned about the words they use, the reason Americans care about civil rights, the reason we are...
You know, this makes me feel very accurate about a thought that I have, like about why Black people continue to feel like other communities are supported by America before we are, and how oftentimes what we see is a lot of issues, like different community issues, be grouped or paired or synced up with like Black issues. I think about the Equality Act, how that being like a LGBTQ issue that's now being tacked onto the Civil Rights Act, or even in critical race theory and thinking about how like LGBTQ rights is grouped into like African American like history and curriculum. So it's like we're two different causes, two different communities, each needing its own separate work.
For one issue and one issue only, and that is how Black Americans were treated in this country.
So basically that is it for the video, and I absolutely understand, like, you know, what every other, like, I heard it all. I mean, that because she's speaking the truth does not mean that she has turned a new leaf, and they are actually soliciting for votes indirectly, and that's why she actually brought up this topic. And she thinks, like, you know, it's time to get into Black people's heart. Like, there was a video I did about Black people being very forgiving. I mean, you all got to be very smart, because they are actually looking for a way to play their games and then get what they want and then push everybody all out. This is where I am going to call it a day. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. I definitely want to read what you got to say about this. See you all. Bye for now.